And here we go. Exercise time.
Pagbilang ko po ng 1, 2, sabayan nyo po ng 3, 4 ha. Sige po. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Harap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Just
7,
random
8,
numbers.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Even the boss does it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jopay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jogging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inen.
So here we're trying to resolve the last question about basically the floor plan at the ground floor, which we've left too late, and that's our own mistake. It's nothing to do with the builder. But my wife would like to see if we could have a slightly different layout so that the access to this bathroom, which is currently 2 rooms, toilet and shower room, and at the moment the plan says the doors would be on this side. And then beyond this line is where the gym would start, rather than where we're standing now is the spa. Grand name, but that's what it is. So we're trying to figure out if there is a way of having access to the toilet without leaving the spa. So in other words, switch the door so it's on this side. So that is what the current discussion is. We'll come back when we get a resolution. So after a few minutes of discussion, here's the new plan. We are going to combine this into one wet room, which will have the toilet and the shower and a wash basin, and the door will be on this side. But we're actually going to reduce the size a little bit. So instead of coming to where you can see this metal form on this edge, it's actually going to be only about a third of the way from here. So this will all be one room to about that point across. And that will give us enough space to have the shower and the toilet and the wash basin, and it will also give us back a little bit more space for the gym. So, solved. And this area still won't get poured. It wasn't being delayed because of our indecision over layout. In that corner there will be a jacuzzi of some sort, and that requires that they dig down a little deeper to get the, I suppose, foundations, if you like, into that corner, and that they'll do after the slab is poured. So this area tomorrow, assuming the pour goes ahead, this area does not get poured. That'll come a little bit later. Right, after that little interlude to try and figure out layout, the plan remains that the concrete floor will get poured tomorrow. The trucks are asked to arrive around 7 in the morning, or the first of them. The builder says very regularly they don't come at the required or the requested time, so we might have to wait a couple of hours, maybe. But the good news is that where I thought this would be a pour going on all day, the builder says they might be able to do this in as little as 3 hours, which I find fairly remarkable given what I've seen elsewhere, but that's his estimate. So we'll see how that goes, hopefully tomorrow. We have a lodger. I'm not sure if this is going to survive very long, but in here we have a little bird's nest. Hopefully that survives long enough, if I haven't disturbed them by doing this, to let the birds hatch. So over here, pump room, finishing off the forms for the roof. They are also going to put forms, I believe, on these columns, which is kind of a backup plan. So if they have too much ready mix tomorrow, they can fill in these columns as well. Right, down here on the wall by the road, basically the east facing road. Oh, JR is breaking into song briefly. There's 9 guys working on this area today. We're slightly down on crew numbers. We're at 22, I'm told. One of the missing crew members is Foreman Manny, but he's missing for a very good reason. He's off getting his vaccine. I think it's his first shot. I don't know which one he's getting, but hopefully he has no side effects and we see him back here soon. But this is, yeah, quite a bit of the focus today on this wall. We'll see how we get on later. We've already got a bucket brigade going on the south wall, so concrete getting poured while Coilito over there is hacking away at that tree. They moved on tree stumps on Saturday much faster than I thought they would. We'll see how they get on today. But the plan apparently is not to try to start digging into the basketball court today. That'll come in another couple of days, I think. They're just going to try and get this section of wall up, I guess, up to some degree of height, and then I think they're going to keep working on back down towards the east from here. So we'll start here on the south wall, where we've now got the trench and the tie beam and the columns all the way up to where the basketball court is. The tree stump is out, and beyond that there's more. So this is looking from an angle we haven't really seen before. This is looking back from the west towards the direction of the road, back towards the basketball court that they haven't chipped out yet, but they've basically skipped it, started digging out this trench all the way back there. We'll go and have a closer look. And we've got holes dug out. Let's put the footings in for this area. And again, having to chip away at the next door's wall. Well, hammer away. But really good progress, and they're just about to put the first column this side of the basketball court. And here we've had up to 4 guys working here earlier today. They were finishing off little bits of forms on the roof, but they're now trying to complete the forms for the upper part of the columns on this section of wall ahead of the pour tomorrow, that if they have sufficient concrete they will pour these. Inside the house, this is where we asked for the adjustment in this bathroom shower, so still a little bit more to be done, including moving these conduit. Now back at the front wall, lots more progress here. We're going along, we're going up. Not quite sure what happens now, because if they keep extending any further, this is our current access road, so I'm not quite sure what will happen next. Maybe they'll stop here, but we'll get a better feel for that over the next few days. For now, my guess is it's simply a case of going higher on what they've already extended. So, builders here with the engineer, and they're inspecting what is effectively a last-minute change. They have added a column here, 2 and 3 and 1 over there, and if you can make it out, they've added 4 additional columns. This whole plan was signed off by a structural engineer, so the structural engineer was perfectly happy that there was sufficient support for the second floor, first floor if you prefer, but the builder has decided he wants more support, so he's added at the last minute these 4 columns, which I have to say I'm more than happy about. Anything that makes it stronger. But it does mean there's been a little bit of a flurry of activity here today that was kind of unexpected, but it won't delay the concrete pour tomorrow because those 4 columns are in, done. So I'm told that tomorrow morning the pump for the concrete ready mix trucks will arrive at 6. They have to do a little bit of work on it first. They think that'll be ready by 7. The unknown is what time the ready mix trucks will get here. They're only coming from Angeles City, which is, you know, in a car on a decent day you can drive from here in 30 minutes or less. But these are ready mix trucks, could be in heavy traffic. We'll just have to allow for Philippine time and start whenever we start. So, not quite the end of the day yet, but very close. Okay, bell's gone. Most of the guys are out. There's 1 or 2 still heading out on motorbikes, so apologies for the noise. There goes our whistling Iron Man. So this wall has been extended very considerably, including the tie beam, the first elevated tie beam. And they're going to stop here just for a little bit, because the wall will go to about here. But obviously if they do that now, we're locked in. So they're going to move the focus from this point approximately 8 meters that way, which is where the end of the gate will be, and then they'll build the rest of the wall going from that point over to the far wall, the south wall. That's the plan. What could possibly go wrong? Inside the house, the last minute adjustments are mostly done. Certainly all the columns are done. They're just trying to finish off the wet room area and a couple of other very small bits and pieces. So it looks like New Richard and Oliver have a little bit more to do tonight. They're going to get a little bit of overtime in. But we will be ready for the pour tomorrow, I am confidently told. And here on the south wall, not much more digging has gone on here since we last looked. They do now have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns in place, and the tie beams up to that point and the concrete poured. We'll just have a quick look back the other side of the basketball court and see if there's anything else done there. So here, not only did they manage to remove that rather large tree and root, they've got the 3 columns in, they've got the tie beam in, they've got the concrete in. So once again, removing of trees and roots, which I thought could take forever, they've got through it very quickly. That's it. Day 41. The day before the big pour. And it is the big pour because when they do the floor above this, whether you call it the first or the second, it's a slightly smaller footprint. So this is the biggest pour they do. As I said earlier, the estimate from the builder is they might do it in as little as 3 hours, but we're kind of in the hands of the ready mix people. They will, to some extent, determine what time we get done with this. But it is going to be an interesting day, so stick around, come back for that. We'll see how we get on with it. But for now, day 41 with our last minute changes in the bag.